Hiya peeps, welcome back to Matchday Report. Our Gentry Day fixture this year was a boring one, as far as I know anyway. Truth be told, upon trying to watch this game, it was crashing quite a lot. It wasn't one that I really got to watch a lot of, so a majority of my evening consisted of playing darts before watching WrestleMania. So instead I'm going to have to give you, obviously, things that I've read over, the past couple nights. And just general opinions from what I did see, but as far as it stood, it wasn't a massively entertaining game. Of course, a 0-0 draw. We still pick up points, which is good, but obviously we need to be picking up 3 points. 0-0 draws at this point in the season, it's not going to get us where we need to be. Teams around us this week picked up points rather than dropping points like they did at the start of the week, so yeah, it wasn't an ideal result, to put it lightly, but at least we didn't get Dick 5-1 again. I think that was the score when they came to Deepdale anyway. So yeah, they had 11 shots, 2 on target. We had 9-1 on target. We had 28% possession. Could barely string a pass together apparently. Yeah, it went fantastic. Let's be honest. Let's not kid ourselves. So this will take us to 10th. So we're slowly sliding back down to where we belong in 13th. And yeah, other teams are absolutely just fucking blazing now. Obviously Middlesbrough have picked, like I said last week, they picked up some form and have now overtaken us after 2 wins on the bounce. Hull are now level on points with us. Our goal difference still is what ties us down. Obviously Middlesbrough now catching Coventry and Norwich picking up more points as a Coventry. West Brom again still in form, slight dip, so obviously Norwich will be catching them up. Southampton still a wee bit clear, so with I believe 6 or 7 games to go, it's not looking pretty, I'm not going to lie. It's still doable. It's not the chances aren't high, but it's doable. So let's take a look at our player ratings. Woodman a 7, 1 routine save from him in the first half, couple of crosses to do with over the piece, clean sheet in the bag. Story a 7, back in the side, didn't really put a foot wrong. Lindsay 7.5, 1 important tackle in the first half as Watford looked to break. In general, read danger well. Cunningham a 7 on his first start since October. He put in a steady shift in the back 3. His experience was on short and settled well after a shaky moment early doors. Next page. Brady 6.5, played down the right in the absence of other options. Was intense in his work, competed pretty well. Set piece deliveries were hit and miss. Of course, the right side is not his natural side. If Brady is to play, he has to be on the left. Watmore 7.5, given the fact he was playing central midfield against an opponent with plenty of slick individuals, he can be proud of his efforts. Ran himself into the ground, kept it simple on the ball, and was hard in the tackle, headed wide early on. I found it quite strange that he was in central midfield, I'm not going to lie. Of course, we had very limited options, so we had to make do with what we had. But yeah, it was a strange one, but he seems to have done quite well from what I've heard as well, so every credit. I thought we were going to play a back 4, but then when I read who we were playing, and I was thinking, hang on a minute, we've got no options here. It was a confusing one. McCannon 8, North End need him in at the moment, with the midfield department being decimated. He didn't stop from start to finish, was aggressive as ever, soldiering on after taking a blow. Hughes 6.5, put in a committed shift down the left flank, got stuck in from start to finish, sent a glorious chance wide from close range towards the end of the first half. Will Keane. Nothing. Operated in number 10 position did okay. I had 1 shot blocked in the first half, sent it well, just wide in the second. I'm going to imagine a 9, unless that's just a bracket. Yeah, it's just a bracket. No, I don't know. It was eventually shot towards the end, but kept playing. I'm going to imagine it was like a 7 or a 6. I was match 5. No lack of effort from the big man, but clumsy in some of his centre forward play. 1 good run in the first half, which was a half chance for Keane. Reece 6.5. Fatigued in the second half, but his pace and power had caused problems on a couple of occasions. Saw term effort kept out first half. Looked after the ball well. Mad 6 introduced on 82 minutes, but during the game drifted by then, which I don't understand why we weren't starting Mads if we're short on midfielders. Stuart 6 ran around for the final 10 minutes, got into areas, but couldn't provide the spark. Now I do know what Ryan Law has said about Mads. Whether or not this will get brought up here, I'm not too sure. Well, let's have a read, shall we? So Ryan Law said about Gentry Day's fixture, listen, we got a valuable point which will help us, hopefully. We did enough to win it. I think we had some great chances. Usually Jack Keno, there were some good set players in there. We didn't have that clinical edge at the top end of the pitch, which we've had in games recently. But I said to the group that we came here to win. We had 22-23 goals at the top end of the pitch, and we're solid at the back with a back 5, which was important for us today. So okay, that makes more sense. Against a good team, we still had a goal threat, but didn't manage to put it in the back of the net. At this stage of the season, you need 3 points, but I've always said if you can't win, don't lose. They're a good team and have been in good form. not as good form as they have been, but yeah, scoring goals would nullify their strength, had some good moments. There are no complaints, sometimes they ricochet or go in if you scuff it. Point is valuable for us at this stage of the season, away to a team in good form. It is important we didn't lose it. I think we did everything we could to try and win it because we had some good opportunities. They're a good team and we've got some good players. They're going to come out and go. No, they then changed shape, brought different players on, threw everything at it, but our lads stuck to the plan, our possession, and did not change. Thought they were fantastic for to try and. Okay, I thought it was fantastic for our players to adapt and not get pulled out of little slots, which is what they were trying to do with Dennis Bayo-Asparella, which we frustrated them. The first half was a little bit more us because we had some opportunities. Second half we're going to be backs to the wall, but we get them on the counter, which we did. As far as I'm aware, we only had 4 shots in the first half, so I don't think we had many opportunities. It was just that moment of ruthlessness that cost us. All we've tried to do is stay on top half of the division as long as we can, and we've gained a point rather than lost it. And other teams have won, but we can't worry too much about other teams. It's a big week next week. We've got a massive week. Teams have got to play each other. All we can do is keep ourselves in the mix. We've now got 2 home games this week, and we can stay as close to Norwich. It gives us a fighting chance. Yeah, he's thinking quite logically there. But with what he's saying there, the match of opportunity. Huddersfield, of course, is a team that's recently saved himself a lot of headache when it comes to their relegation battle. As you can see, they've moved up a little bit because Birmingham have fallen down and so have Millwall. So, you know, this is a good chance to pick up points from a team that aren't relatively in form, but they're also a team that are very well structured. They could easily come to Deepdale and beat us. Of course, we beat them 3-1 away, but what's to stop them coming here to our ground and beating us, because they usually do. Watford, I wouldn't say they're in good form. I don't know where he's getting that from, but yeah, with Norwich, of course, teams like that we normally do beat. They spanked us last year, so fingers crossed it doesn't go that way again, because that's the last thing we need at this stage of the season. But then the week after that, with games like Southampton and QPR, there are big opportunities to be had. So let's take a doozy at what he said for the rest, shall we? Or let's, I think it was here, weren't it? It's difficult, isn't it, when you are losing quality players through injury? It's not easy, but I don't sit here and moan about it. I get on with it. We got a kick in the teeth, if you like, but I got to trust the players. We put Greg in, who's fantastic. We put Watmore in midfield alongside McCann, but we still had the firepower, the 3 attackers. But yeah, youngsters on the bench, it's football. We just get on it with it, and the lads work their socks off to gain a point. I mean, that's why we make some more intelligent signings over the window and say we don't need right wing backs when we do. I didn't know they were signing for a change. I didn't know that. Oh, sorry, I didn't know they were singing for a change. I didn't know that until afterwards when I sat down. We were mindful to do a change anyway, but the game plan was going to a T. They started opportunities. Thought Reece was tired towards the end, and the next thing he gives you a burst and a sprint. Positions those players played today, and the job's there to do. Out of possession, we're dropping up and down, not getting split. It is not easy in bringing fresh lads on to do that job. You're mindful of that. We made the changes. They'll come in anyway to try and win the game. When asked if Mads didn't fit into the plan, Ryan said, "Don't ask me those questions because you're now asking me to go against the fans, and I'm not doing that. So don't put words into my mouth because that's not happening. So if you ask me a different question, that's poor from you." That's what I heard on Twitter not long after the game on Saturday, and I was like, "What the fuck? Why is he just suddenly have to snap at him like that? What? There was no need for that. Like, yeah, fair enough. Mads is the fan favourite. We want to see Mads play, but he's asked why Mads wasn't played." Ryan's all of a sudden gotten really defensive, saying, you know, I don't want to talk about it because the fans are going to assume things. Well, we're going to assume things anyway because now you're refusing to comment on it. So the running thing is that he's been dropped based on having a slightly poor game last week, and that's it. Like, he's had 10 good games and 1 bad game and he gets dropped. So that's what we're thinking. You know, I know how Ryan says he has tough love with Mads at times, but if Mads doesn't start against Huddersfield, I can very easily see that there's going to be a lot of backlash. But maybe he's just, you know, resting Mads so that we're not at risk of losing another player in the midfield. I don't know, but it was a strange one. You'd expect Mads to start a game like this, but the response was not. It wasn't necessary. And on it being Gentry Day, Ryan Lowe said, the bad picture with all the players in the bowler hats and the Gentry behind us, it will go down in history. We wanted to send them home happy with 3 points on a special day, but I think the picture will definitely make a special moment for a lot of people, especially the people that they can see on it. And yeah, big thank you because it is a special day. At least we sent them home with a point, and hopefully they are happy with the performance. Well, I mean, I wouldn't be. But yeah, so far in our Gentry record under Ryan Lowe, we've got a win, a loss and a draw, so hopefully next year we can pick something else up if we still have Ryan Lowe next year. But yeah, I don't really have anything else more to say. That's about it, because like I said, I can't really say too much about it, because I didn't really see much of the game. All I know is roughly what I've just read now, and then things I've seen on Twitter over the last couple of hours. So yeah, it's one of those ones. All I got to say is really we've got to take massive opportunities such as Huddersfield and QPR in the next 2 weeks and make a moment of it. Whereas teams like Norwich that are going to come to us, and Leicester especially, and then we've got to go to West Brom and Southampton. We're all with the teams in and around the mix now. This is it's a perfect opportunity to take points off of these teams and to give ourselves points, and we just need to hope that other teams can do the same for the others, because that's the only way we're going to slip into the playoffs now. Because these last 2 games dropping points, it's not done us no good at all. So yeah, if we lose Tuesday, it's quite comfortable to say that we're probably not going to get the playoffs unless we win the rest of our games, which, let's be honest, won't happen. So yeah, season, is it dead? No, it is pretty much dead though. So there's a lack of optimism coming from me now. But yeah, it's been a fun season, I suppose. But you know, it ended the way we thought it would, bottling it. We always do. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you later for the next game we cover. Ta-ra.